Who in the right minds goes to KFC to have vegetarian fare? Seriously. Well, apparently someone did. Must be one of those food bloggers who thinks trying all these gimmicks will give him likes and such. I guess some people do end up joining the party late. Speaking of parties, Pandya, KFC. Veg tane la?
Of course.
Okay, thanks. Hi, I'm back with another vlog, and this time it's gonna be KFC. No, I won't be taking you through a week-long series of very boring serves and very lengthy episodes. This time it's gonna be just one day. Thank you once for that. It's just gonna be a single day's episode of all the vegetarian options that are at KFC India. So let's start with the fries and see how they taste like. Okay, I did add a bit of ketchup to the fries already, so let's see how they taste with the ketchup. I'm afraid we haven't started off on a great note. The fries are way better, and in fact incomparable. The fries from their competitor is way better, and it's just leagues ahead of the fries we can find here at KFC. So what then is the problem with the fries here at KFC? Well, for starters, they are very chewy. They don't have any crispiness at all in their bites. Every single fry here, it just tastes like bland potato fried in an oven. And even the salt, there doesn't seem to be too much of salt added to it. Planes. What's with planes in my blog here? I'm afraid the fries wasn't as good as even I expected it to be. So I think I'll move on to the next item on the menu, which is the veg zinger. The veg zinger here. Let's see how this tastes like. Well, at least the zinger has some interesting taste to it. It has a very interesting bite to it. The patty, there's a very nice crunch of the caramelized onion that we can feel with the patty. And just enough spice and also a bit of sweetness that has gone into the patty. The bun is nicely toasted. It has a pretty soft bite to it. It has a pretty even toast going on, and not too chewy, yet at the same time soft. A decent amount of herbs have gone into the making of this patty. There's cumin, there's coriander seeds, and a bit of coriander stems as well, and the usual suspects. There's mustard and red chili flakes that have been powdered well. The coriander seeds though tend to dominate the patty a bit more than the other herbs and spices that have gone into the making of this patty. A few slices of lettuce have also gone into the making of this burger, which do give an occasional crunch when you bite into it. And there's a generous helping of mayo, as always, which has gone into this burger. Alright, then moving on. All in all, the burger was quite good. I can't compare it with the non-veg variants out there, but for for a vegetarian, as a vegetarian option, yeah, I guess it's okay. It's pretty good. And now I'm gonna try the veg cheese sticks. Let's see how this tastes like. The veg cheese stick has a very crunchy bite and it's entirely hollow. It does remind me a lot of the local savories and condiments which we find across general stores and hotels. It has that very familiar taste to it. A lot of curry leaves, coriander, and pepper has been added to the seasoning. So let's see how this tastes like with ketchup added to it. The tanginess of the ketchup along with the spicy, savory taste of all the spices and herbs that have been added to the veg cheese stick, they go well. There's melted cheese added inside the cheese sticks, but there isn't much added to it. The veg cheese stick has a rather mellow taste to it. It isn't the spiciest, nor is it the nor does it have the strongest of flavors when it comes to spices or herbs that have been added. Though it does look a lot spicy and rich in its seasoning, it does have a very mellow taste to it. And that's the reason I'm adding ketchup to this cheese stick, which otherwise does make the cheese stick rather soft, mellow, and kind of bland. 129 rupees for 3 cheese sticks. Nah, you're probably better off spending it elsewhere. I would give it a miss. Let's yet another burger which we haven't tried, and that would be the veg zinger. It does look very appetizing. Let's see how it tastes like. This here is a veg zinger. It has been peppered a lot with both white and black sesame seeds, and there's a very thick patty between the two buns. And then there's the mayo and sauces that are creeping out of the bun. Let's have a bite and see how this tastes like. I straight away bit into the peas and corn that has been peppered alongside the patty, and there's also lettuce and tomatoes, which are ubiquitous with burgers. But what I found interesting was that in spite of having a very good bite at the patty, I could still feel the sesame seeds that are sprinkled on top of the bun. They seem to dominate the taste of the burger much more than the patty itself. Let me see if that was true or no. Yes, the sesame seeds themselves seem to dominate the burger much more than the patty, much more than the thick patty that has been sandwiched between the two layers of bun. The patty itself is okay. I found the patty which was in the veg crisper much more tastier than the patty that has been added to this. Although it does look the same, I am sure it's different. That seemed a lot tastier than this patty here. Although, in spite of all the additional veggies that have been added to these patties, like the peas and then there's corn as well, In spite of all the additions, this patty seems to be pretty much on the average side. I think we need ketchup to the rescue yet again. Yet again, the ketchup has come to the rescue of the burger. The very tangy nature of the ketchup has lent a different taste to the burger now, and it's much more palatable. Not that it wasn't tasty before, it was just pretty average, well, at least compared to the veg zinger that was on offer. So I think I'll put this on hold for now and check the other item on the menu which we have, and that would be the veg biryani, and it's called the KFC biryani bucket. It has a very thick patty which looks just the same as the one they use in the veg burgers, and then there's a very generous sprinkling of caramelized onion on top of the biryani rice, and there's the biryani rice itself. Let's see how the rice tastes without the patty and the onions. Let's see how the patty tastes like in its individual self before I pass my judgment on the biryani. It's the very same patty which I just had in the burger now. Filled with peas, and there's corn and lettuce. I don't know, it does come off as an attempt from KFC to mimic the biryani makers from all across Asia, from all across the world. Honestly, it looks like a pretty lame attempt from KFC to jump onto the biryani bandwagon. And boy, I must say they have missed the coach. And how the biryani rice, it's pretty dry, and it just tastes like boiled rice which has turmeric added onto it, and even the rice seems to have dried up completely. There's absolutely no moisture at all. It's pretty dry. The rice has soaked up all the moisture which was present in it. I'm gonna give this one last attempt and see how it tastes like with the patty, although I'm not sure how much of a help it's gonna be. Unfortunately, the patty itself isn't of the best quality, so there's little that the patty can do to the rice. So again I can't comment on the non-veg variant of the biryani bucket, but the veg biryani, you can absolutely give it a miss. There are simply better options out there in KFC, even for vegetarians, to try than the KFC biryani bucket. I'm gonna have a hard time finishing this biryani and burger as well. I think I'm gonna take a break, and I'll get back to you in a moment. Until our not so young protagonist finishes his meal, let's take a look at some captivating lore. Have you ever wondered why a hamburger is called a hamburger when there is no ham in it and the patty is typically made of beef? Well, its origins can be traced back to the city of Hamburg in Germany, where it is believed that 19th century sailors brought back the idea of raw shredded beef after trading with the Baltic provinces of Russia. It is also believed that the Mongolian armies under Genghis Khan would place meat between their saddles and steeds to store and tenderize the meat before cooking them, thus creating a blueprint for the modern day hamburger. Though it can be believed that the armies would carry rations with them, food safety issues and logistics notwithstanding, there are simply far too many fallacies to believe that the hamburger began this way. Although the hamburger supposedly gets its name from the city of Hamburg, the recipe itself finds a mention in the Roman book Apicius, thought to have been written in the 4th century. All roads do lead to Rome, I suppose. I completely forgot there's a spicy gravy, at least that's what has been mentioned on the cup. So This was supposed to be an accompaniment to the biryani, so I really can't explain it in words. Let me have another bite at it. There's a lot of spice and coriander seeds that have gone into this gravy, and even the spice, it's not very, it doesn't seem to give off a lot of heat. It's just, it it has that very undercooked taste of spices which we get sometimes when it's not properly uh, prepared. Let's see how the gravy tastes like with the biryani. No. Now it tastes like one of those traditional Anna Sambar dishes which we have in hotels. It has completely lost its essence, meaning. Now I can't even make out which is which, the gravy, the rice, or the patty. KFC has completely lost the plot with respect to their biryanis, and so have I. I think it's time to move on to the next item. And moving on to the desserts, we have the chocolate lava cake. I hope at least the desserts from KFC are worthwhile. Quite surprisingly, the choco lava cake isn't too harsh in its flavors. And when I say that, I mean it isn't too sweet at all as one would expect it to be. It looks very rich in its appearance, but I thought it would be very sweet. Thankfully, it isn't. I must admit, I like my sweets uh, less sweet, as in I prefer them being less sweet than usual. The choco lava. I'm sorry about that. The choco lava cake has stolen my heart and my tongue as well. The choco lava cake is a winner here. There's a very lava kind of, just like it's mentioned, it has a very lava kind of texture. Not that I've ever tasted lava. It has the very smooth, flowy texture of lava, and the outsides they have that very grainy sort of texture to them. They both seem to give off different tastes altogether. The grainy part of the choco lava cake has a much more mellowed sweetness to it, while the flowy, liquidy lava part of the lava cake, it's a bit more sweeter and it's bliss. I think I'll come back to this later. I'll save this for last. In the meantime, I'll move on to the next dessert, which would be the. Oh, this looks similar. No, this is the choco mud pie. The choco mud pie, as they call it. Let's see how this tastes like. Oh my, wow. However, this tastes like, it sure does feel mud, like mud in a good sense. The very first push which I did with the stick, it felt like I was scraping my hands through mud. This one has a much more bitter taste to it, akin to dark chocolate. Perhaps I should have tasted this first and then the choco lava cake. Coming from the choco lava cake, this does seem a bit harsh, quite bitter. Has a very creamy inside just after the crust. The topmost layer of the choco mud pie, it has a very crumbly texture to it. both the topmost layer and the layers beneath it, they're both quite bitter, akin to dark chocolate. Dark chocolate lovers will love this big time, and for the rest of us, I think we'll perhaps choose the other sweeter options. Having said that, I'll take one more bite of this and move on to the last dessert which we have, and that would be the coffee mousse cake. The coffee mousse cake has the exact same toppings, the exact same outermost crust like the choco mud pie, and they have a very strong aftertaste to them, quite bitter, very crumbly in their bite, and quite bitter. But once you get past the topmost layer and you have the mousse itself, which is pretty good. Then there's also an hidden layer of choco lava right at the bottom. So that is the coffee from the coffee mousse cake. There's a very creamy and quite thick layer of coffee that is at the bottom of the cake. It makes for a much more interesting eat when all three layers have been combined. The contrast in all three layers is what makes the coffee mousse cake give off its rich taste. Although I'll admit I still have my heart well and truly set for the choco lava cake which I had the first time around. I think I'll get back to that very soon. And moving on to the two very last items at hand, we have two beverages. One being the masala Pepsi, which is just Pepsi with some spices added into it, some of the milder spices, and then we have 7-Up lime soda. So these were two of the few beverages that were on offer at KFC India. So let's see how this tastes like, and I guess it would be time to wrap it up once I'm done with these two beverages. There are mint leaves added into this beverage, for God knows why, I don't know. I don't know if adding mint leaves onto a cool drink is gonna help, but I think I'll pass. I hope this turns out good. The 7-Up crushed lime soda, or as they advertise it, has supposedly lime flavor added into 7-Up, but I can taste neither of it. I think I'll have to pass up on this one as well.